Welcome to the She Nailed It Show, where faith meets foundation and every renovation tells a redemption story. I'm your host, Danette Galvis, and we're not just transforming a house, we're rebuilding lives. On this show, we'll talk about real challenges, real faith, and the blessings that come when you don't give up. From recovery and restoration to faith and fresh starts, this is where we discover that what once broke us is actually building us. So grab your hard hat and your heart, because on the She Nailed It Show, we're fixing up homes, finding purpose, and proving that with a little faith and a lot of courage, you can nail it too. Hello, and welcome to the She Nailed It Show. I'm your host, Danette Galvis. And today I have an unexpected guest that I've asked to come on for an additional episode on season 1. This is Ronna Keller with Perspective Quest Ministries, and her role in what I'm doing in my calling that also feeds into her calling is just a partnership that needs to be heard. So I asked her to be on this episode. She is not a contributing author to the She Nailed It book, but she is an important person in the role of operating sober living homes with me. She has agreed to partnership with the ministry and receive donations for the sober living home program I operate that then will be able to bring funding to the ladies, women that might need a scholarship for housing, women that might need scholarship for anything. It helps really bring more resources to the ladies inside my program. So just a little bit more about Ronna before we introduce her is Ronna started Perspective Quest. She is the founder of Perspective Quest, guiding leaders and organizations during seasons when things seem a bit overwhelming and unclear to moving forward with a purpose-driven strategy. She is the CEO and founder of Perspective Quest Ministries. Welcome, Ronna Keller, to the show. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here, Danette. You know how much I love what you're doing and how much I love your story. And to be able to partner with you with such a strong ministry is so valuable to me. I really appreciate you. I appreciate your heart for these women. I appreciate being able to meet with these women and just really help them become who God's created them to be.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree. And the way this really worked is we do go to church together. I am a new member of a church here in Dallas, Texas called Sojourn Church in Carrollton, Texas. Come visit it if you're in the area. But Rhonda had a special executive position with the church for many years. So tell the viewers a little bit about how you came to create Perspective Quest Ministries, because you were already busy. So creating something else is, it clearly was a passion for you. So tell the viewers a little bit about how that came about.
So before I was on staff with the church, I worked in the marketplace and I really was involved in administration, executive leadership, strategy, that kind of thing. And then I took a season off because I went through a difficult time in my life and just really needed to spend some time really knowing who I was in Christ and helping me to understand who he was in me. And so I took about 5 years off. And during that time, I volunteered, and I was volunteering at the church. And they said to me at one point, would you mind coming on staff? And I said, well, I hadn't really thought about coming on staff. So I said yes. And it wasn't about a job. It was just about helping an organization that I felt strongly about. So 25 years later,
wow.
I finally resigned my position. Our senior pastor transitioned the church to an associate pastor who's doing a great job now. But I felt like it was a time for me to move into something different. Well, my whole life had been about helping people. I have Bible studies with young ladies to help them discover who God created them to be. So I'd done that for probably 20 years. I've been on staff for 20 years, handling the administration and the organization, the strategy of the church. So I wanted to figure out a way to certify in that so that I could do that with other people and other ministries and organizations. So that's what I did. I got certified in strategic planning and certified in really helping people discover who God created them to be. And that's when I started Perspective Quest. And I love the name of the ministry because it's really all about getting perspective about who God created us to be and the quest that we're on to discover that and find that. And so I really love helping people. I love helping organizations. I've got several clients that I work with now, profit and nonprofit organizations, to help them really step into and improve their profitability and their processes while I'm helping individuals discover who God created them to be and really to walk that out.
That is such a gift. It's such a gift to even have you offer to help this program that is just getting off the ground, operating that for the past 15 months. So the timing is great because it's established, and you have guided me in so many ways in small conversations. And so I just am so excited that we get to do this together. I know you, I trust you, and I am so grateful for the idea of Perspective Quest. I also love the word quest, because we say in recovery, journey. This is our journey a lot. It's the same thing. Yeah. Quest and journey is all the same thing. So I really enjoy the different play on words, because it takes us.
See, what they both are is getting from here to there, and what is there, discovering what there is and what we can do to make a difference in the world and have an impact.
I would even go as far to say to get out of here to there, right? Because this whole series of She Nailed It is about women who were in a valley of for some reason in their life, a valley moment, and they got out of there to get to that victory moment, to know that they're in the space that they're supposed to be. Same with you. You know, you were in the space of being an executive administration for a church for 25 years. That is a long time. Yeah. And to even step out of that is scary.
It was scary, Danette. Thank you for saying that, because I was in the same structure for such a long period of time, and then to all of a sudden be my own CEO, my own boss, my own directive, my own trash emptier. Oh, geez, it's like, wow, it's quite a departure. And it's taken me a minute to kind of get a handle on it. But I think one of the things that it does is it helps me to appreciate, regardless of where people are, there's always somewhere for us to go. There's always an opportunity for us to step into more. And God has so much in store for us. I feel like that so much of the time we live short of the victory that Christ paid for and how we really walk that out. And so my passion and my heart is to really help people discover what that is. And I love partnering with your organization, because the women that you are helping have been in a deep, dark place. And sometimes they don't even really know that there's purpose for them out there. They feel like, what difference can I make in society, because I've made some compromising decisions and I've put myself into a place that's not the best place. You know what? That doesn't matter. It's not where you've been. It's where you're going. And that's what I love to help people do, is discover, where are you going? Where are you going, and how are you going to get there? What are the tools that you need to be able to accomplish what's in your heart? Because when you were created before the foundations of the earth, God put something inside of you. And sometimes it takes us a while to discover that. Sometimes it takes us a while to really recognize what that is and to have the confidence to walk that out. And Dana, I love what you're doing. So I've had an opportunity to meet with some of the ladies. And so we do a lot of different things to help them discover where they're going. One of them is called Life Language, really helping people discover how they communicate and how their communication style is wired. So I got to come over and present that tool to the ladies and really just help them see, okay, you may be somebody that's a high influencer. You know what? You'd be great as an event planner because you know how to make things happy and fun. Okay. So your communication style is a contemplator. You know what? You're really good at doing research. You're really good at finding the ins and outs of things. That's important. That's important no matter what you're going to do. If you're in the marketplace, if you're in ministry, if you're in a volunteer organization, all those aspects are important. And so to be able to meet with these ladies and help them discover that about themselves, something they never knew, is such a blessing.
It's such a gift. Yeah. It's such a gift. Well, stay tuned. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we'll hear more about how Ronna is helping rehab her recovery house program. Stay tuned.
In life, we all face valleys, moments of pain, challenge, and struggle, but it's what we do in those moments that defines us. She Nailed It, inspiring stories of going from valley to victory, brings together powerful women who turned adversity into strength and strength into purpose. led by Danette Galvis, with chapters from inspiring voices including Terry DeGrande, Erica Butler, Corey Beth Lepowski, Teresa Todd, Catherine Sorensen, Katika Estevez, Christina Good, Denise Sandkamp, Megan McDermott, Kristen Williams, and Jessica Weaver. These stories will inspire you to believe in your own comeback, reminding us all that victory is always possible. She nailed it. Inspiring stories of going from valley to victory. Available now on Amazon. One book, countless stories of hope. Get your copy today.
Welcome back to this She Nailed It show. We have a surprise guest, Ronna Keller, today with Perspective Quest Ministries. And if you were here earlier listening to her explaining a little bit about how she's helping the sober living program for women that I operate called Rehab Her Recovery House. It's really a gift because the women that are coming into this home and program, they really have hit the rock bottom. And the shame that they walk in with, whether they're coming from treatment, a 30-day inpatient treatment, or even sometimes 90-day inpatient treatment, it depends on the level of care they need. They really are nervous about what sober living is all about. They are nervous about shared living. They're nervous about rules and chores and all the things, drug testing and all the things that they might need to be doing for accountability, but they also are walking through that threshold because they desire it. They desire to have that accountability. They desire to have some stability in their life again, because in addiction, that's not what we have. But where we're also, if I'll just say attacked, is when you talk about the darkness that women have when they come in, it is that space of, I've really messed up my life. I don't even know where to go from here. I do know I need to be sober. I do know I need help. And they've cried out for that. And coming in here is a continuum of that care. And so what you come in and offer, I get a little emotional over it because it is such a special gift for you to be able to sit with the women one-on-one, do a little questionnaire with them, and that alone helps you guide them based on passions, based on their personality traits, based on their gifting. So then that leads them to their called purpose in life. You're a coach.
Yeah.
You're a job assistance coach. What would you say inside your ministry, the offerings, when you talk about the questionnaires and the things that you are doing without charge, by the way, for these ladies?
So what I really like to say is I'm helping these women discover their purpose, because when you think about people who have gone through addictions, there was something that drove them to get into addiction in the first place. Mm-hmm. So at that point in their lives, they were absent of purpose, because if they had had their purpose, they wouldn't have been drawn to something that got them off track. Mm-hmm. So first and foremost, then they go through the recovery period. Okay. They go through the in-treatment season whether it's 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days. Then they come out. They still are missing that purpose. They need someone to walk alongside them to help them see, I was really created for more than this. And yes, this horrible thing happened to me back here that made me redirect and go the wrong way. I still have the opportunity to come back over here and get it right. And, to see some of your women that have come in who have children that they're not able to see because of the addiction that they walked through, to then see that they were created for more, and to learn, okay, what are the steps that I need to do to walk out that purpose so that I can be a member of society that can be with my children, that can make an impact, that can be an encouragement to other women that may be walking through what I walked through back then. So some of the things we do is we help them identify their communication style. I talked about that a little bit earlier. Another thing that we do is we help them figure out what is their life plan. So this is a much longer program. It takes about 2 days for us to walk through, and I ask them several questions that help them get to the core of who they are, core values. What are the things that you're really good at? What are things that people have said to you that you excel at? Okay, those are all leading indicators as to what our calling is and what our purpose is, and to really help them walk in that confidence, because once they hear somebody say, you're really good at hospitality, and then they're like, oh, I am. And then they start to develop that confidence to be able to step into everything that God called them to do and be.
It clicks.
It clicks.
It clicks. And that also makes them just a little bit of confirmation along the road helps.
Helps so much.
Even if you're not in an addicted personality, any confirmation, any positive word, positive speaking truth to someone helps turn that light on. Like, oh yeah, I do remember, or I did have a job in my past that was that in that line of work. And unfortunately I was stuck and I made choices, like you said, that didn't lead down that path, a roadblock. So I love that you're even willing to spend 2 days with someone. The previous questionnaire had only taken like 5 minutes, right? Before, when we did it with the house meeting, and to just know that you're willing to invest that time with these women is a opportunity they don't know they don't have. Yeah. And so, and I didn't even know was out there without paying for it, right? So the ministry side and the purpose that you have to speak life into them again it's a game changer.
And can I just speak to that for a minute? Because Danette made mention of the fact that I do this free of charge because I care about the women. The reason why I choose to do this free of charge is because I've seen what she's doing. I've seen the impact that she's making in these women. I've seen the homes that they get to live in. You can't imagine where some of these ladies come from to where they are today in the beautiful home environment, not just the physical aspect of it, but just the peace that is available in these homes for these women to have kind of a retreat away from what the world has done to them, to be able to come into here. And so that's one of the reasons why I invited Danette for us to partner together, because I have a 501c3 and we have a separate category that is specifically for her recovery. And I'd really love to ask you to consider contributing. And in this post, you'll be able to see a link where you can contribute. But what your contributions do is help to sponsor some of these women coming in. And love that. We had a that when the women stay a certain period of time, we increase the level of coaching and care that we get. And so we start out at one level and everybody gets that one level. Then if they stay a little bit longer, then they get another level of coaching and care. Really kind of like marketplaces, like is what we're doing, really gain their confidence back in the marketplace. And so other things that your donations cover is groceries, We have to pay for groceries for these people to be able to eat. And so we want them to be able to eat healthy food. So your contributions help to cover that. All the living expenses for the ladies that are here. They pay tuition when they can, but I want you to remember that when they first start coming here, they may not have the resources to do that. They may not have a benefactor that's helping to sponsor their stay here. So that's what your donations do. That's what your donations cover.
Yes. And to speak a little further in that, with having people call in to see if I have a bed available, what that includes, it's not just a bed available. It is a furnished home. It is shared living. So they will have roommates. There's no isolation in the home, because in this early stages of recovery, isolation is not our friend. But that allows them to come in with their luggage, 2 suitcases and a duffel bag, move in from treatment. It's designed to be a door-to-door program from inpatient treatment to sober living. And in sober living, they do not have to worry about paying an electric bill. They don't have to worry about paying water. Wi-Fi is provided. So they are able to get on Wi-Fi, create resumes, get on the job searching, all the different things that they might need to help move their needle forward to get a job. They don't have to worry about the lawn care. They don't have to worry about the sheets, the linens, the towels. Those things are provided within the program. And when you talk about tuition, it's a fee. This is a self-pay program. We don't bill insurance. It's not something that insurance allows sober living to bill any kind of insurance. So what I've learned in the last 15 months of operating, sober living homes, 70% of them are for men. So there is a big need for women. And then also women, don't have the resources for one reason or another. I don't know, but don't have the resources that men do. And so they can't afford it. They may have lost family support. Some women have family support, and those do and are able to pay the fee that has the value with all of the bills included. And they don't have to think about paying bills. They can focus on their recovery. But some women come in and they don't have anything. And so I have allowed some of them to move in just as I have a bed available, you have a need, let's go. The process now is that they will begin to fill out an application. There will be a process of them showing the accountability to tell their story. And then we meet on that and approve who is getting any kind of funding for moving in for their the roof over their head. So processes aren't just receiving donations. We aren't just haphazardly using those fundings. We're using them specifically for women that may have a length of sobriety. We have to put that application together on what that criteria might be, but there is a criteria for them to be able to have a discounted fee. It's not all bills, like all of it goes to them. It's a discount off of the fee, so that more women can come in. It's not just to one person, and then we try to raise more funds and then it goes to another person. It's going to be a set amount for each person, but then it also goes to the electric bill, goes to buying some food and coffee and just staple items for the program. So thank you for bringing that up, because, talking about your ministry and what you've created is awesome. And you're not just working with me. You do serve other people. So tell someone how they would get a hold of you if they wanted to use you for their program or their individual life.
So I have a website, and it's called perspective-quest.org. And so I'd love for you to visit me and let me know how I can help you. I have several clients that I work with right now, and I enjoy it. I love what I get to do. If somebody told me 10 years ago, that's what you're going to be doing, I'd be like, no, I'm going to die and retire at the church. But no, God had other plans, and I just love it. And I want to help other people discover what God has for them to be able to walk out completely who He's called them to be.
Yes. Well, are there any final thoughts for today that you'd like to say on the show, or just in general?
So I just really want to encourage everyone to recognize that you were created for a purpose. God has a special purpose for you. Nobody's by accident. There is a perfect. Just want to do breaks. I think that I'm just open your heart to the street to get at and really help women who, as she said, 30% don't have sober living homes. 70% are for men, 30% are for women. And I just am so grateful to come along and be a part of this organization, and just encourage you to do some research and check it out.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for coming and watching this episode of the She Nailed It show with Ronna Keller and Perspective Quest Ministries. Stay tuned for next season and also the next episode airing next week, next Thursday. So thank you for coming on the show. And thank you, Ronna, for being here today, coming to the Sober Living House and sitting with me and having this conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Danette.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That's a wrap on this episode of the She Nailed It show. I am so honored you spent this time with us today. If you enjoyed the show, click follow or subscribe, drop a review, and share the episode. This really makes an impact for the next person needing courage along their journey too. Want to stay connected and be inspired by more stories and victories? Visit kingdomrehabher.com and follow me on all social media platforms.